of Ulm in Germany.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi, how are you all doing?
Good.
Fine, thanks. How are you?
Okay. Pretty good. It's a bit late here, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Sorry to keep you up.
Yeah, well, it's a good reason to be up. By the way, greetings from the city with the tallest church in the world.
Okay.
Do you think it was possible for them to build that without like advanced help from? Never mind.
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, when you look at that thing, it's pretty impressive. So I think they had some secret machines, but I haven't found it yet. I'll be looking, keeping the eyes open. Anyway, I'm an atheist. I don't go to that church except for looking how it looks, basically. But I was wondering, so the Christian apologetics are mostly nowadays oriented into this whole morality business. You can't really be good unless you have a God to tell you what good is. But actually, never videos that I saw on YouTube and elsewhere, I never saw anyone basically say that in the end, actually, it boils down to instrumental learning. There is heaven, there is hell. They're either threatening you if you're bad, or they're rewarding you if you're good. And the fact that it's objective or not doesn't make any difference in the end, right? And that the only difference between that and our secular morality, in principle, is that we don't have any prizes if you are good. I mean, except for you feeling good and being rewarded with life.
Well, not just you feeling good. Not just you feeling good, but also managing to get along with everybody who has to deal with the consequences of your actions.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the golden rule and stuff. Yeah, true.
Right.
Well, and I would argue that these very rigid prescriptions about, well, if you do this, you're going to hell, and if you do this, you're going to heaven, and basically following, getting your morality out of a rule book like that, I think that actually inhibits the development of morality in people, because what we know about the development of morality, for example, in children as we grow up, is that it depends on experience and practice. And so you develop the ability to make moral judgments about something by actually doing it. You're put in a position like, okay, I can, take my friend's piece of candy and no one will know. And do I do that or do I not do that? Well, if you put that situation in front of a 2-year-old, you're going to get a very different outcome than if you put that situation in front of a 7-year-old. And the same thing as we progress, hopefully we learn that you don't take someone else's stuff. But it isn't because if you do that, you're going to get punished. It's because, you feel empathy for this other person. And so you've actually learned, why it's important not to take somebody else's stuff. And the lesson is not that you're going to hell if you do. It's that this other person will be unhappy and upset. You will have wronged someone. And so I think that the rule book that the Christians and the other theists promote actually inhibits the learning that takes place, that gets people to that point.
Yeah, and there's kind of 2 stages to learning morality. There is the sort of because I said so stage, which you kind of have to go through before the reasoning ability is there. But there's also the stage where you get somebody to understand the practical reasons for acting in an ethical way. Because if you never instill that, they're going to become teenagers and you're going to be in trouble because saying because I said so is going to cause them to do the exact opposite.
Right.
And so making sure that the rationale for how you want them to behave is something that's sort of ingrained in them by the time they get that old is really important. I think what religion does is just try to prolong the because I said so stage forever.
Yeah. And I mean, I can tell you from experience, and Russell, you probably have seen the same thing. My son is 6 years old now, and the because I said so thing is already not working out.
Wearing off.
Yeah, I find that he behaves much better if I give him options. Well, if you do this, then you'll have enough time to read a book before you go to bed. But if you continue to do this, which you can do, then there won't be enough time for you to read the book. So which would you prefer to do? And so that's his way of deciding how he's going to manage his time and which he would prefer to do. There's no punishment in that. It's just there are trade-offs here. And so I'm teaching him how to make decisions like this, and we do this, dozens of times every day.
Right. It's useful to look for teachable moments in the entertainment.
Yeah.
Like for instance, my son and I recently heard a radio show. It was This American Life, actually, which he's a big fan of, and somebody got called out for lying about something really important. And there was this really uncomfortable interview where they were asking him, why did you lie about that? Why did you, put your reputation on the line? And that's the perfect kind of thing where you say, look, see, when I say don't lie, it's because you don't want to be this guy.
Yeah.
This is the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, true. Okay, and I would just, maybe you can help me with this. I'm trying to figure out a proper response for it. As philosophy lecturers at university, basically the problem that if God is almighty, then can he make a stone that he cannot lift? So the basically logical fallacy. The solution, quote unquote, of my professor, who is an atheist but still a philosophical solution, was the problem is in definition of the word almighty. Does almighty mean you can break rules of logic, or it doesn't mean you can break rules of logic?
I guess I agree with the professor, except that I would say that almighty is pretty much meaningless. I mean, you can more or less weasel it into whatever you want, and I don't think there's that much point in arguing over the details of what almighty means without coming up with some kind of evidence that there actually is anything that has this property in the first place. So I think that the so heavy that he can't lift it argument is cute, but kind of a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree too. I'm actually doing a PhD. I'm doing kind of science. It's just it's purely philosophical argument, but.
Right.
If you would follow it, like against William Lane Craig, for instance, who likes to keep these things philosophical as well, only, so no evidence, no nothing, then, you would end up, at least I am ending up, I don't know how to reconcile it with anybody's God in principle, which is also part of the problem, but then, it's hard telling the Christians, for instance, oh, your God is impossible, because, anything is possible in that case. Any lack of logic is still possible.
Yeah. We're running out of time, and I'd like to take at least one or two more callers, so I'm going to let you go for now. Thanks for calling, and get some sleep.
Right.
Will do. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.